Question from Lord Overlay. Who's your favorite GM? Probably Beth Harmon. Hey, okay, we have a game. There was a question earlier to show Ponziani ideas. So let's play the Ponziani. And let's try and find some ideas. Actually, I haven't played the Ponziani in a while. Knight f6 is most common. d4. Oh, okay, so we're going into this line. This is actually one of the most dangerous lines that white can encounter in Ponziani. Bishop e6 best move, and now queen d5. Yeah, knight f2. Now I'm trying to remember. I think rook g1. I have some analysis somewhere, but it's a very sharp position. So the point is, if I takes, and then takes, and everything's a mess, I'll play rook g1. The nice thing about this line is, at least most people aren't prepared super deep. Like, they just know bishop e6, and then at some point we'll stray away from opening preparation. Other nice thing about this line for white, it's up to black to prove the compensation. Like, okay, I'm a little bit awkward with the king and development, but I am up 2 pieces. So I have to look on the bright side of life. But now it's time to think, because I don't know what's going on here. I want to play this move, but after takes rook b8, and then somehow the knight gets defended. I might play queen d5. Queen d5 actually looks natural. There's knight d2 as well, to go for knight e4 and initiate some trades. I was just imagining funny line. Oh, it's not so funny though. Or is it? Here, and then takes? Maybe it is funny. I think I'll play knight d2. Also has the benefit of maybe this move as well, because there's multiple like key squares to access. Yeah, normally you play the Ponziani for like a simple central build-up and not like a crazy sharp tactical fight where your king is really misplaced on e2, but that's what happens. This is when the Ponziani turns into the Bong Cloud. Question, why not bishop g5? Yeah, this was a brief consideration. I don't think I even mentioned that move. I thought it would have left b2 tender and my bishop would be eventually misplaced, even though it would come with some initiative. Okay, now I'm realizing if I play knight takes e4, black can just take, and then takes, and then I get pinned. And that's not so funny. Kind of want to play this move.
Excited and looking forward to your OTB tournament next year. Good luck.
I'm excited too. Yeah, next year, but also next month. Man, what to do here? It feels so uncomfortable being up 2 pieces. I could consider taking, give a piece back, play bishop e3, try and simplify, and then hold on for dear life. I mean, what's the biggest worry? Takes. Oh, and then knight b3 takes. Whoa, it's Inform Hunter. Thanks for gifting subs. I think this is actually okay. It's important in these situations not to be afraid of ghosts. Even though it looks scary, it might, like, the threats just might not exist. Now, I'm playing knight d4. I called off the bishop, but I opened up the queen. So the knight is still defended. Yeah, thank you, Inform Hunter. Gifting 10. Wow. Okay, now the knight's defended by the pawn. If I take the pawn, this move probably would hurt me. But this move comes to mind. And surprisingly, I feel kind of cozy. It's like a nice wooden cabin in the midst of a blizzard. I have shelter. I have a nice like bonfire going. I want to roast some s'mores or some marshmallows and then turn them into s'mores.
Upvote for naming this line the Ponziani.
Ponziani, A. Yeah, we have to brainstorm future YouTube video titles. Okay, now I want to take the pawn, but then I really get snowed on. My fire would be extinguished.
Hey Eric, keep up the good work. Much love, Smile.
Oh, thank you. Smile back. Thank you, Gary, too. Gifting 5. So much hype. Okay, there's increment here, but I still have to watch my time. I don't think I can take the pawn. I'm actually thinking h3. H3, it looks really slow. But the point I just want to take, and then I have a threat of taking. There's even some idea in the event of, like, one example line is bishop. What is this move? So this is another example line. So bishop takes e3, queen d3, king takes f2, and then the king can actually run to g3 and then h2. And I think that's okay. Again, it looks scary. My shelter is being invaded by polar bears, but I think I'm equipped. Gonna find a new shelter, like a hermit crab. And so many metaphors. The thing here is, I still have 2 pieces. So the basic strategy was to win material, don't get mated, also don't flag, which could still be a challenge. And then to someday win in the endgame. Okay. So let's enjoy the new shelter. There's a comment rook hanging. I think all the rooks were defended. Except this rook, but it's not attacked. Realizing there might be knight f5. Not immediately, because this, but then this. But then some. Yeah, this rook is potentially in danger. I just want my king on h1. Wow, g4. I'm not going to get my wish. That's actually kind of a cool move. If I play knight f5, I have very little time to think here too. I don't know what to do. Let's just play queen d5. I'm going to give back a piece. But now I'm more interested in initiative. Okay, so this is check. And now bishop c4. Threatening mate in 1. Okay, so now the queen. Okay, there's queen f4 check. So I was threatening the queen in mates, but black defended everything. However, I'm still up a piece. Still not flagging. Yeah, I don't mind like simplifying further. And then just live on the increment. Here we go. Okay. Good game, Boltsy. I mean, really tested me in this kind of chaotic middle game. I'm sure the engine will have something to say. I wouldn't be surprised if black was like much better at some point. But yeah, it's difficult to play for both
Just
players.
came back from a lurk and
Oh
noticed my
no.
challenge was accepted. Could I get a game still?
Yeah, definitely.
Quack.
Welcome back, Rasa Boss. Yeah, there were a lot of I was rewarding the patient subs, but a lot of people forgot they were challenging me. Okay, real quick, let's see what the engine has to say, because it's a very very difficult variation to assess without the use of an engine, which is what kind of makes it fun. So the engine gives like close to equality in this line. Bishop b6, maybe even slightly better for black. And I remember, so the one game I remember from this line is Shabalov playing white against Hansel Turgut. I'm pretty sure Shabalov also played rook g1. I could be way off, but let's look at Master's database. Yeah, Shabalov Turgut, I think, is kind of a model game to follow from the white perspective. Knight f2, rook g1. So there's also cb7 here. Engine says, yeah, I mean, these are the two candidate moves. So rook g1. This game was bc6, and yeah, black didn't sack the second piece. So I'm curious. I wonder if Boltsy was prepared for rook g1. Yeah, castling, it's the type of move that you play if you're somewhat prepared. It was played very quickly too. Queen f6 was played quickly. So it looks like here this is where things can kind of branch. There was a question about bishop g5. Yeah, intuitively it just doesn't look right, because the queen can just sidestep. Arguably, after queen e6, the queen's improved itself, because now there's queen c4 potential, and the bishop's misplaced and this pawn's undefended. So I would think black's doing well. Well, maybe it's still playable. Maybe queen g6 is better. Queen g6 threatening queen c2 or queen d3. So yeah, it's interesting. Like engine will say a decent number of moves are playable here. So I played one of the playable moves. But the dangerous thing about this line, it says black has full compensation. Like when the engine gives close to equal or slightly better for black, and black is down 2 minor pieces, you know it's dangerous. So I played knight d2, e4. So let's see where things went astray for black. Knight d4, losing move. Wow. Only move knight c4. It's such a hard move to play, allowing this an e-file opening. But it's played once. Wow. So why is knight d4 losing? Only winning move bishop takes d4. I was going to take back. Knight g4 only winning move. Retreating. Black is still down 2 pieces. But the threat of, I guess it's a mate in 2 threat. Queen f2, king d1, knight e3. And if I take the pawn, hitting the queen, defending. Queen take d4, only winning move. This is like an insane engine line. King f. Okay, queen d4 hitting the rook and knight's defended, but yeah, white's position is very loosey-goosey. And now there's lots of ways to win. Rook e8, knight h2, f5, man. Any Lee chess games? Wow, so even people on Lee chess know the right move. This might be some theory. Knight c4. If takes. Ah, queen takes f3. I didn't see this move. Rook e8. So apparently white's still okay here. Okay, I don't want to go down the engine rabbit hole too much, but a lot of room for analysis. It's a fun variation, very topical Ponziani line. I've sometimes played this as black, I think. You can look at my stats here. So as white, I played this 8 times. And when people play, okay, the really only good move, I've won 3 and lost 3 out of 6 games. And let's see how many times I played this as black. Only twice as black. Yeah, and people are too scared to take the knight. Anyway, okay. If that game goes on YouTube, hello to YouTube.